Thailand and Vietnam, the long-legged sisters of Southeast Asia. These countries have unique and fascinating cultures, and millions of people flock to explore these countries every year. In this video, I want to discuss the main differences between the countries and what that means for those visiting them. First, I want to discuss the history of the two countries, because this will have a bearing on everything else that we discuss later on. Obviously, we don't have time in this video to discuss the entire history of both Thailand and Vietnam, but I want to focus in on one thing: colonialism, because this is the biggest difference historically between the two countries. Thailand was never colonized by a major European power, which makes it fairly unique among Southeast Asian countries. This allowed Thai culture to develop independently without outside influence. And you can see the effect on this today around Thailand with the distinct architectural designs of Thai buildings and temples. Thailand also had a relatively peaceful 20th century, allowing the country to develop much quicker than neighboring Vietnam. Vietnam, on the other hand, has a history of colonization and struggle for independence. Vietnam was colonized by China for over 1,000 years before gaining independence in the 10th century. The country then went through a series of feudal dynasties until the French colonization in the mid-19th century. Vietnam fought against French colonization for several decades, culminating in the famous Battle of Dien Bien Phu in 1954, which resulted in the division of Vietnam into North and South Vietnam. You can see the effect of this today with the French colonial-style architecture, Chinese-style temples, and the mix of influence on the country's cuisine rather than a distinct Vietnamese style. The Vietnam War then ensued, which further devastated the country while slowing the economic development. This, coupled with their slow opening of the country due to the communist mentality, meant that the country's tourism industry lagged behind that of Thailand, who in the late 80s and 90s began to see the potential in allowing foreign tourists onto their shores. Due to the historical differences between the two countries, there are significant cultural differences between them. One area of importance for most travelers, though, is the food. Vietnamese food, due to outside control, has been greatly influenced by the cuisines of both China and France. Take the banh mi, for example. A staple of the Vietnamese diet, this dish uses a French baguette and often cheese or pate, and mixes it with Asian flavors like chili peppers, pickled vegetables, and fresh herbs to make it something of its own. The national dish of Vietnam, pho, also has a French influence, as this dish is made by combining Asian rice noodles with a French meat broth. Similarly, Chinese hot pot and stir fry are popular dishes around the country. Thai food, on the other hand, is less obviously influenced by other countries, and the country has developed its own distinct types of curry. Massaman, green, red, and Penang curries all use locally grown chili peppers and coconut milk. Another major difference is the flavor profiles and the spice level. Thai cuisine is known for its bold and spicy flavors, often incorporating chilies, lemongrass, galangal, and kaffir lime leaves. On the other hand, Vietnamese cuisine tends to use more subtle and delicate flavors, with a focus on fresh herbs, spices, and a balance of sweet, salty, and sour flavors. Thai cuisine frequently involves stir-frying, grilling, and deep frying, while Vietnamese cuisine is often characterized by steaming, boiling, and light grilling. Both countries, though, have a thriving street food culture, especially in their respective capitals. Both Bangkok and Hanoi streets are filled with street food vendors hawking their selections. Eating the street food is an experience not to be missed in either country. Both countries have similar geographical makeups, with each of them being long and narrow countries, having a green and mountainous north and tropical beachy south. Both countries also have wet and dry seasons. Both countries are also known for their biodiversity and diverse range of ecosystems, including rainforests, mangroves, coral reefs, bays, beaches, lakes, mountains, and rivers. And they also have many different national parks to protect their ecosystems and wildlife. In my own personal opinion, Vietnam has the more impressive north of the country, whereas Thailand has the more impressive south. In the north of Thailand, you can find amazing places like Chiang Mai and Chiang Rai, cities that are known for their beautiful mountains and amazing temples. But the north of Vietnam has even more majestic mountains and peaks. In the north of Vietnam, you can see the beautiful and rugged limestone cliff faces of both Halong Bay on the water and Ninh Binh further inland. Sapa has some of the most impressive valleys and rice paddies that I've ever seen, and is a trekking paradise. Finally, the Ha Giang Loop is known for being one of the best motorcycling destinations in the world, taking 4 to 5 days to complete the drive through the mountains. Southern Vietnam contains the second capital, Saigon or Ho Chi Minh City, and the beach towns of Da Nang and Phuket are nothing to be sniffed at. But again, in my opinion only, Thailand is the king of the south. Thailand has the famous beaches of Krabi and Phuket, but it's some of the smaller or quieter islands of Koh Lanta and Koh Lipe that are really some of the best places to visit. These beaches are beautiful and have great snorkeling just off the shore, and that's why they're considered some of the best beaches in the world. By far the biggest city between the two countries is Bangkok, with a population of around 10.7 million people, compared to about 8.6 million for Ho Chi Minh City and 5 million people for Hanoi. Bangkok is an admittedly overwhelming city that is most famous for its temples, street food and nightlife. I've lived in Bangkok for 4 years now, and trust me, you'll never run out of things to do in the city. Hanoi is the capital of Vietnam, and this city is also famous for its street food, but also for its historic sites relating to the Vietnam War and its old quarter district. Ho Chi Minh City, also still known as Saigon, is the second city of Vietnam and is slightly more metropolitan than Hanoi and lies in a more tropical climate. This city is known for its proximity to the Mekong River Delta and its boat tours, as well as its Vietnam War museums. All three of these major cities are outstanding in their own right, but some people find them all a bit too hectic because of the heavy and chaotic traffic, especially with the abundance of motorbikes in Vietnam. Most people usually spend a few days in these cities before heading to either beach or mountain towns elsewhere in the country. And while I love each of these cities, I think that's the right choice, because outside of these cities is where the countries really shine. If you need any help planning a trip to these cities, you can check out my website, which is linked below. For a very reasonable price, we can help you organize your trip to these sometimes overwhelming cities. So, which is better? Well, that depends a lot on who you are and what you want. So far, I've already mentioned that Thailand has the better beaches and the more developed tourism industry. That means in general there's a high quality of hotels and lots of guided tours like boat and street food trips. It's also quite easy to travel around the country with plenty of flights, minibuses and boats ready to take you to your next destination. These all exist in Vietnam too. However, your options are not quite as nice as they are in Thailand. If you are interested in the beach locations, Thailand has many different islands to explore in both the Andaman Sea and the Gulf of Thailand, each with their own unique vibe. So you can spend a lot of your trip traveling around and sampling each one. Thailand is also a great place to learn to dive, and there are Muay Thai gyms around the country. The food in Thailand is generally a very high quality throughout the country as opposed to just in the cities, which is one complaint I had about Vietnam. Cannabis was legalized last year in the country, and you can now openly buy and smoke weed. One misconception about the country though is that everything is cheap. Don't get me wrong, there's still plenty of things in Thailand that are good value for money, but not quite at the same level as Vietnam. If you're looking for hiking, trekking, or doing a bike trip, then you need look no further than northern Vietnam. Vietnam is also a very cheap country to visit, and it's consistently cheaper than Thailand. Although Thailand is known for its nightlife, personally I would say Vietnam is the better drinking scene, with the local beer hoys drinking corners where locals meet to drink fresh locally brewed beer, and this beer is extremely cheap. They also have one of the best craft beer scenes in Asia. If you're interested in the history of the Vietnam War, Vietnam has some of the best museums and historical monuments that are fascinating. Vietnam tourism may be less developed than that of Thailand, but in my opinion, that's all part of the fun. Travel in Vietnam to me is less polished, more rugged, and more rewarding. The people here seem to be more interested in the foreign tourists that are visiting their country and are very excited to meet you. The countryside and rural areas are less developed, and visiting these places sometimes feels like traveling back in time. Both countries have significant hill tribe communities that live away from the cities, and you can visit these places to maximize this feeling. Personally, I found Vietnam to be the more exciting country to visit, but I do live in Thailand, so perhaps others will get the same feeling when they visit Thailand too. Ideally, you would visit both countries as they both have so much to offer. If that's not possible, I hope I've made your decision easier with this video. If you found this video useful, please consider hitting the like button. Check out the rest of my channel for more videos about specific places in both Vietnam and Thailand. Peace.